Hello and welcome. My name is Jean, and today we will be moving ourselves through a practice dedicated to your throat, your Vishuddha chakra in chakra language. So for now, before getting all of the other particulars set, find a way to a seat of your choosing. Feel your sit bones planted on the ground, breathing in through your nose. And then breathing out through the nose or sighing through the mouth. Maybe noticing with more mindfulness how the air passes between the throat space. Check in with your body depending on if this is the start of your day or something a little more of a nightcap. How are you feeling? What are you carrying with you? What are you holding to? And ask yourself if any of those samskaras or impressions suit your practice and its needs today. All the while listening to the sound of your breath passing through the body. You hear the nose as it intakes air. Might be soft, might be a little loud, depending on your personal breathing. And that exhalation might be equally soft or loud. Maybe you even commit to a louder push out through the nose. You feel the nostrils widen just a bit. And even the sound of air passing through the hollow spaces of your skull. Connect with those sounds. Now your Vishuddha chakra, your throat, as it's also known, connects you to ideas of clarity, of communication, of speech. How do you present your ideas into a world? So today your intention might have some kind of lens to be viewed at, a place of honoring your voice, of allowing yourself that open channel always to speak your mind, speak your truth, breathe your ideas into being. We'll take 2 more breaths. So with the neck as your focus today, we'll start by warming up that specific area of the body. Breathing in, the right shoulder drops itself down against the right ear. And then from there, you exhale, guide the chin down to your chest, past your sternum. Inhale, the left ear finds the left shoulder, because anatomy is always fun like that. And then exhale, releasing the neck behind you if it feels good, or moving through center. Take another inhale, right ear to right shoulder. And then moving into that neck circle pattern. Breathe out, follow your tempo. And if you feel any kind of tension gathering in your body, this is a great place to find a modicum of stillness. Even if it's just a breath, even if it's 2 or 3. Really allowing you to channel your life force, your prana, that specific sustaining energy into those tensious points of the neck. And as you finish the circle you're on, reversing your circles at your pace will take about 4 or 5. Your breath will, of course, decide how that tempo comes to be. Great job, y'all. Just taking another couple more breaths for yourself. And all the while, gathering every bit of information here that your neck is communicating to you. Maybe this is a place where your neck says it's a little stiff. Give some love. Give some compassion to all that your neck does for your body. But finding yourself back at center, we'll take an inhale, spine lengthens upward, and then exhale, just turning your gaze ever so softly to your right side. 5 breaths here. Just really lengthening through the left side of your neck as you breathe. Good. Now taking an inhale, the gaze returns to meet your center-facing self. And then exhale, the gaze now moves to your left shoulder, just looking over as comfortably as you want to. 5 breaths. All the while remembering your shoulders are still softly away from the ears, allowing your chest to still face forward, even as your drishti, your point of focus, has you guided to the left. Last breath here. And then on your inhale, redirecting yourself back to center, facing out nice and wide. As you exhale, very gently hollowing the rib space, guiding the chin down to the tailbone. Connecting some spinal flossing, you're going to inhale, take your cow pose as your shoulders widen, raising your gaze up to the sky. And then on the exhale, the chin is guided down to the tailbone, ribs and spine giving a hollowed hug. We'll take another 3 more. Breathe in. And then breathe out, hollow everything inward. 2 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then last one, breathe in. As you breathe out again, the ribs hollow, just finding that hug of gratitude in that safe, shadowy space. With the out breath, you're then just going to inhale, stack the spine back in center, and then exhale, sitting back onto your sit bones, extending your legs out in front. Always welcome to have your props nearby if you want to use them in any way. Coming into your caterpillar pose. Paschimottanasana in those more active settings. We'll breathe in, palms of the hands are on the ground. And then as you exhale, just start spider walking your fingers toward your feet. Hands can rest on the legs in any capacity. Upper shins, lower shins. If they want to touch the feet, also valid. Now, when you're settling into your caterpillar this time around, there's generally that cued focus of reaching toward the feet as much as you are comfortable doing so. I invite you to take this particular shape more into the neck region today. So, how that will feel, you're just going to breathe in, lengthen your spine, so that you feel your crown of the head pointing in a diagonal. And then releasing tension in the back of your skull. Exhale, just to bring your forehead closer to the knees. That back of skull focus helps to lengthen your throat, maintaining again that clear channel of air to pass through the body while you're breathing. At the halfway point, just here for a couple minutes. Feel free to reach the hands out further again if you'd like. Bending the elbows is also nice. And really coming back to your intention here. How does the air feel? What does it sound like passing through your body? Connecting to those hollow spaces in your skull when you feel the air pass through. That is a sound channel. That is a sound tunnel that you have innately within your body. And that sound you make is an intentional way of breaking the general silence around you. When you breathe, you are conscious. When you breathe, you are aware of how you move and how you exist. Two breaths to go. Nice job. So taking an inhale, the hands are going to find the ground. Very gently walk the palms back toward the center line. And then following through with that movement, you're going to exhale, walk the hands toward the back of your mat, fingertips pointing toward your feet, bending the elbows back. This is called your mongoose pose. It's a counter posture for that spinal flossing and folding that you've been doing. Elbows are bent, pointing to the space behind you. Walk the hands out a little further if you'd like. Just breathing. Three more breaths to rebound here. From here, take an inhale, very gently walking the wrists back in toward the center of your space. And then choosing a side, you're just gonna exhale, swing the legs around you as you come all the way down to your abdomen. Feeling the front of your hips and the tops of your feet placed on the ground. Maybe you even rock side to side a little bit just to make sure that you're comfortable. Upper body, your forearms can gather, making a pillow for your forehead. And again, connecting to that sound. What does it hear? What does it sound like? For your body to have the air coming back to you so close, reverberated, reflected almost by the ground itself. Take two more breaths here. Nice. So we'll be moving into a little bit of back compression, as back compression postures also serve your throat, given the lengthening of that space. So, from your forearm pillow, you're going to slide the hands out in front of you. Palms are on the ground. Breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out to drag your hands on the earth until your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Welcome to Sphinx pose. Lifting the top of your head to the sky, neck is long, shoulders are again soft away from the ears. Breathe. Just like caterpillar, taking a couple of minutes here. Now a little bit more about your throat chakra while you're breathing here. The antagonist or the counterforce that's connected to your throat is the element of lies. Lies can be something that you tell yourself in a moment that you know doesn't have any rootedness in truth. But because it's something that you have voiced, it might be something that tries to embed itself within your body. So a good way to counteract any of that energy of lying can indeed be speaking in truth, speaking in clarified understanding of all of your sensations, your lived experience. You've been here for a little more than a minute, 20 seconds. You've got another half a minute or so to go. Maybe as part of this last bit, invite yourself to speak a truth about yourself, something that you know to be a tenet, something that you know to be lived in within you. Affirmations indeed can be truths that you lean into. I am present. I speak with love and kindness to all beings. I listen and make space for those experiences to reside within me. Just a couple affirmations of a varied sort, but choose what feels good for you. You've got 3 more breaths. Good job. So taking an inhale, the arms are going to slide out to the top of your mat, peeling your chest down. And then, just as a rebound, feel free to tip the ankles side to side a couple times. Make that forehead pillow. Just breathing and being. Always welcome to shift on the mat. Maybe even you take your toes and plant your toes on the ground while you're tipping the ankles. That can give you a nice little stretch through the fronts of your feet, your plantar fascia. And as that rebound serves you, we'll take our second back compression, second Sphinx pose. Inhale, the arms will slide out in front of you once more, palms on the ground. And then as you exhale, drag them into center again. Sphinx pose. This time around, you have the option to breathe in through your nose once you feel your Sphinx pose embodied. And then turning your gaze towards your right shoulder. This is called your watchful Sphinx. Just taking another 5 breaths, just like we did in that seat earlier. Look where you feel most comfortable looking. Feel that easy little stretch on the left side of your neck. Equally easy crunch sensation on the right. Nice job. If you took watchful Sphinx to the right, inhale, turn to center. Just noticing where your gaze rests. And then exhale, take that same drishti, that point of focus, to your left side now. Looking over your left shoulder for watchful Sphinx. 5 breaths. Great job, y'all. Last breath here. As you inhale, once more the gaze will return to center, and then just holding watch for your Sphinx pose specifically for another 5 more breaths. Really diving deep into how that air moves through your open throat. And maybe even yawning once or twice as part of your exhalation. Whether it's still because sleepiness has a hold on the body, or whether the day is just hanging over you, creating that veil. Allow your yawn to be audible, just so that you hear the breath leaving the body more consciously. Last one. If you have your toes curled on the mat still, this is your time to uncurl them nice and gently. And then as you inhale, walking the palms of the hands under your shoulders, tucking the elbows against your ribs. As you exhale, pressing into your palms, widening your knees to opposite sides of the mat. You're just sending your hips back to your ankles, wide-legged child's pose. Might also be known as downward facing hero, depending. It does meet the tenets of both, essentially. But whatever your particular connection to the name is, breathe. So hanging out here for just a minute or so, feel your hips gently sinking back toward the ankles. Now you've got a couple more breaths here. You are welcome to remain in your child's pose just as you are. We're about to move into a variation of this shape that you are welcome to try, should your body want to today. But when you're ready, take an inhale. You're going to walk the palms back in, peel the chest up. On an exhale, come sit back on your heels ever so briefly for your diamond pose. Just enough time to take a quick swig of water. You spent some time with a couple of shapes today. Got one more option to offer for you. So it's going to be back in your child's pose, but on an inhale, you're going to grab a block and set the block toward the top of your mat. And then when you're ready, widening the knees as you exhale, start sinking the hips back. That block you're going to bring closer to you so that you're resting your chin on the block itself. The idea is that you're getting that long neck sensation. So you can have the block in this flat shape, You can have it horizontal. If you want something a little bit more pronounced, take the block to a vertical shape. You could technically call this form of child's pose your featured shape today, if you are one who moves with featured asana. This is a more Vishuddha chakra focused child's pose, as you've got the lengthened neck, but you're still getting that appeasement of your sacrum with the widening of the hip space and even the slightest of heart openings because of your lifted neck. So take 2 minutes, breathe here. As you're arriving at your halfway point, consider how you want the final posture of your practice to be. That Savasana shape soon to follow. And maybe reconnect with that affirmation that you offered yourself while you were in your Sphinx pose. I speak my truth every day. I speak with love and compassion toward all beings. Maybe even tell yourself that verbally. Speak it out loud. It's your space, it's your mat. Remember that you are allowing yourself this time to heed the call of your Vishuddha chakra. And just hearing the sound of that affirmation pass through your body can in itself bolster whatever it is you're moving toward. Last 4 breaths. Nice job. So taking an inhale, the palms of the hands will press onto the ground very gently, peeling your chin off of your block. Once the chin's off, you can set the block to the side, tuck the knees under the body. Then choosing a hip, left or right, sit back on the hip. Legs will swing around. Again, drink one more swig of water if you'd like. And then option just to bring any props with you that you'd like. But make your way to your chosen Savasana, that final shape of your practice today. As ever, acclimate your spine to the ground. Feeling the feet relax, the toes splay to a side. Your breath becomes softer here, really connecting to that space in your throat that you've been spending time with today. From your neck circles to your caterpillar pose, to your Sphinx pose, and your child's pose with the neck focus. all of your shapes this practice have given you a chance to observe how your breath passes through the body. Maybe regulated in that pranayama sense, or maybe organic, adhering to what you need in the moment. But all the while, recalling your breath and heartbeat that you've spent your time with today, leaving behind any tension you might feel, any stiffness, even any hesitancy to speak or to breathe with that certain confidence and knowing. Leave all of those sensations of discomfort behind, at least for a few moments. With that, enjoy your Savasana, mindful of your space, even as the world around you is trying to keep its motion, its activity. This time's for you. So enjoy. I'll bring you back shortly. And starting to bring some awareness back to your body. You feel the sound vibration moving through the nostrils as you breathe in. Those hollow spaces in your skull that you've been leaning into your practice today. Almost like echo chambers of that air as it passes down to the lungs. And then breathing out through the nose, sighing through the mouth, activating that audible yawn once more. And all the while, adding any fingers and toes, making some wiggles. The wrists and ankles making some circles. And any movement for your body that honors and strengthens your tether to this corporeal plane. As you find yourself back on your mat, you have the option to end your practice in the conjured shape of your Savasana today. Perhaps it feels more cyclical, familiar to meet in a seat of your choosing. The arms, the legs, the eyes seal your time on your space in a way that serves you. And all the while coming back to your intention today. That sankalpa that resides within your throat chakra, your Vishuddha. It is that space of concise, clear information being conveyed using the channel of your breath. And repeat your affirmation to yourself one more time, whatever it was that you spent some time in Sphinx pose creating. I speak truth. I speak with love and compassion toward all beings. I listen to every experience and what it does for my body. It has been my humble honor to have shared space with you today as you have shared space with me. May you take the lessons that your body has gathered from your mat out into this big, bright, beautiful world, ready to bolster the shine and joy of others, just as your shine and joy have been bolstered by your mat today. The luminosity in me cherishes, respects, and will always celebrate the luminous blooming heart in you. Shanti. Namaste. I thank you so much for making time for yourself on your mat today. Hope you enjoyed this different flavored journey. And until we meet on our mats again sometime, namaste.